Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're going to talk about how perfection will stop you from succeeding. And in my real life, and I kind of consider the internet to be a little bit different from my real life because I encourage a lot of people to do things in my real life, and I rarely have anybody who's going to put in the same amount of effort as I do. And I've never been one of those guys who's like, "Oh, you got to give like 60 to 100 hours of work to hustle." I've never been that type of person at all. I've just been like, I want to do the least amount of work with the maximum amount of effort, right? And one of the things that I found that will get me to my goals is just simply get started and don't look for perfection, right? And this is the same philosophy I had with YouTube. So if you ever look at me doing YouTube, and I'll just go to the very first video I did. So if I go to videos here and then go to oldest, the very first video I did was just me recording myself on Zoom because I didn't know how to use the other tools to record screen share, like a better tool like OBS, which is what I'm using right now. I think it's more high quality. But I just used Zoom, and then I just kind of got Canva because I was taking some marketing courses, and then one of the videos was like, "Hey, here's how to use Canva to make a thumbnail." I was like, "What's Canva?" And then I used it. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is so amazing!" And so when I did these videos, right, like I didn't even know that they would gain any traction. I mean, think about this. I only did started YouTube 8 months ago, and I'm a relative noob in real estate because I got my first rental property around like end of 2022, and I have one rental house, but I'm not a guy who has like 20 rental houses or anything like that. But I'm getting a little bit of traction, right? And some of these thumbnails are kind of okay. They're not good. As you can see here, I don't use like fancy PowerPoints or editing, right? But a lot of people out there, right? So this is like the biggest issue is that they're striving for perfection and thus they never get started, right? Me, I just like kind of come up with videos that are kind of the same topic, they're over and over again, velocity banking, blah 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 blah, and it's just me talking about whatever. And I don't even have, an agenda for this video just to kind of prove like, hey, like just crank a video out, and that's much better than not doing anything, because what happens is that a lot of people feel like, oh my goodness, I have to know every single thing about YouTube in order to YouTube, or real estate. I know I have to know every single thing about real estate in order to do real estate, and thus they never get started. It's the same thing with velocity banking. I noticed that I get a lot of emails regarding how like people need to have like perfection and knowing every single thing about velocity banking in order to do it. I'll give you my own personal experience. Like, I don't think I knew everything. And when I first did my velocity banking spreadsheets, I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes, right? But then as I kept doing it over and over again, this is the most important part. You have to just keep doing it over and over again in order for you to get good. But people are afraid to do that. And one of the reasons why people are afraid to do that is because our school system trains you from your youth that you have to be perfect or, strive for the appearance of perfection in order for you to actually be successful. And that's why, there's so much anxiety and depression and mental issues out there because we're not allowed to just make mistakes and be ourselves. Now, obviously there are some exceptions to this. Like you don't want to like jump off a cliff without any training or put your hand on an oven, right? You don't want to do that. But I'm just saying in general, like you shouldn't strive for perfection. You just kind of want to do a little bit at a time. And there's a saying here that says, "Perfect is the enemy of the good," right? So you take a look here. Perfect is the enemy of the good. It's an aphorism which means insistence on perfection often prevents implementation of good improvements, right? So just little by little, keep trying over and over again. And I think Tony Robbins really took this and ran with it, if I remember correctly. So Tony Robbins, uh, what does he say? I can't even remember. Tony Robbins, perfect enemy of the good, right? So good is the enemy of the great, right? So basically, let me just take a look. Oh, yeah, perfect is the enemy of the good. Okay, so too many people, they strive for perfection, and thus they never get started, right? Yeah. So Let's see. And I probably should just listen to this podcast. But look here, the guy who founded Waze is this, if you try to build something that is perfect, you lose the market to someone that's good enough, right? And that's how I am here in this YouTube channel. It's like, good enough. I'll come up with a YouTube videos, post what's it called, a thumbnail, and then we'll be on our way. But I've encouraged so many people to do YouTube, and you know how many people I know in real life who actually do it? Zero. It's kind of like juicing. Like I've always wanted people to juice with, and I don't know a single person that does juicing, even though I've probably given out 3 to 4 free juicers, and nobody does it because people are striving to be perfect, and thus they never get started. All right. Well, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Other than that, and also I forgot to mention, there's actually a live stream today. So today is March 30th, 2024. So 6 p.m. Eastern. If you want to go ahead and join that live stream, go ahead and click the join button right here. It's only 99 cents exclusive for YouTube channel members. But if you're interested in joining our student group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Other than that, have a great day and we'll speak next time.